Hey guys, Scott from Bold Overland here with your monthly tip for Toyota Knoxville. This month we're going to be talking about off-road recovery equipment. A lot of us like to go out into the off-road areas and just kind of go out and have some fun, but when you're out there you really need to be prepared. And the one way that we do that is, one, we gain a little bit of knowledge on how our vehicle operates, but the other thing that we do is we take equipment with us, such as this stuff down here, so that should an incident or some type of recovery be necessary, we're able to do it. So a lot of people look at this and they'll be a little bit frustrated. They're like, oh my God, there's so much gear. But in reality, this is really beneficial for us when we're in the off-road areas. So we'll start over here on the left. So these are soft shackles. These soft shackles are similar to the hard shackles in that they can be used to connect your vehicle to things such as tree savers, tow straps, to your winch lines, to your kinetic lines. And we'll go into detail about those as we proceed down this pile here. But soft shackles and hard shackles, the biggest thing to remember about them is that you always want to find something that has a good rating that's listed on it somewhere, or you have the tag that came with it. It'll be imprinted on the steel. So you'll see something that says WLL, working load limit. These are soft shackles. I got these from Southeast Overland. I carry 4 to 5 with me. You can kind of see that there's two different sizes. There's a smaller and a larger. And then what I do is I carry in my bag their ratings, so that if there's a question about how much they can hold, it's all listed on here. Now this is a tree saver. So when we're in the outdoors, we like to follow the tread principles of tread lightly. And one of the things that we want to do is we want to protect the environment as best as possible. So you'll see some people take their winch line out and they'll wrap it around a tree. And that small diameter rope is actually damaging the tree every time they pull on it. So what we do is we find something like this that we can wrap around the tree, and this will help distribute the load better, but also protect the tree at the same time. And again, what we're looking for is something where the information is listed on here. So this is a 30,000 pound limit. So the nice thing is that I know every time I pull my equipment out what the rating is for each piece of equipment. This is a winch extension, and we'll show you the winch here in a minute. But this is essentially the same line that I have on the front of my vehicle on my winch. And again, I have the label here that tells me exactly what this is rated to. But sometimes my winch is 80 feet, I believe. So if there's something that I can't connect to within those 80 feet, now I can connect this using one of these shackles and extend out, and this is an additional 50 feet. All right, so this next piece of equipment is called a kinetic rope. So this is probably one of the most misunderstood items that we carry. Think of this as a large bungee cord. Well, what this will do is I will start off slow and get a good pull with it, but I'm not gunning it as fast as I can, because what I want to do is I want to build up that energy in the line, and as it stretches, it'll take and it'll pull that vehicle out. Just like any piece of equipment though, when you're working in front of your vehicle or behind your vehicle and you're doing any type of pull, you never want to have anybody directly in line with that stuff. And you want to basically clear that whole area out. And what that is, that's your safety zone. Because no matter what piece of equipment you use, there can always be a failure. The next piece of equipment we have actually is called something that is actually not what it is. So a lot of people in the industry will call this a snatch block. In reality, this is a pulley block. So what this will do is, depending on the weight of my vehicle, how stuck I am, what the angles are, I can use this for a redirect, or what I can do with it is I will run this through the inside here, connect this up, and then I will connect it to a tree saver somewhere, and then I can run my line out to this and then back to my vehicle. And what I've essentially done is I've done a 2-to-1 system. That 2-to-1 system will now double the power of my winch, or make it easier for the winch is what it's really doing. So my 10,000 pound winch now is a 20,000 pound winch. So if I'm really stuck in some deep mud or sand or snow, I can use this as an option to help me out. Now I've got another one right here. So essentially I could go out to a tree, through one of these, back to the vehicle, through this, and then out to another point, and I've created a 3-to-1. So then I've actually made my winch up to a 30,000 pound winch. Now that's a lot of power. If you can't get out with something like that, then you're probably really, really stuck. People are going to look at this and go, what is that? Well, a lot of the newer vehicles out there don't necessarily have good recovery points on them. These are the same tools that they use in the towing industry. So you have things like J hooks, R hooks, T hooks, and what these are on, especially on unibody vehicles, is you can go up and connect to the frame underneath. There's holes where these will slide in, and now you've got a connection point. Unfortunately, these are about 4,700 pounds is the working load limit for this. But for some of the smaller cars that we come across that are on the side of the road, these are more than enough. I wouldn't use this on a fully built rig. It's not going to handle it. It's not going to be able to hold the weight. And then the last thing you're going to see is this piece. And this is just another tree saver. Like I was saying, we may have to connect to 2 or 3 different places, and it's always a good idea to carry multiple tree savers with you. Hey guys, so one last piece that we want to talk about is the traction boards. There's lots of different traction boards out there, Max Trax, ARB. The choice of our team though is the Max Trax itself. We've used them in sand, snow, mud, and can't beat them. We had a 6.5 hour recovery in Utah this year where we were trying to climb a really steep hill with a trailer, and there was nothing that we could use for winching points. Unfortunately, the hill was very steep, the trailer was very heavy, and the sand was very fine, so it was very, very difficult to climb this hill. But that being said, we made it out. The Max Trax were an integral part, and we love them.